In today's review, we take a look at the set number 75151, the Clone Turbo Tank, and it comes with 6 minifigures. We have a nice minifigure of Luminara Unduli. She comes with the green lightsaber and the textile cape, and she has also 2 face prints. One is the super mad one, and the other one is the more friendly one, but the one which says, yeah, you won't enjoy the fight with me. She has a nice front and back print and also leg prints. Here is the back print. What I like about this one is that you see it's a cape, but they added a textile cape. I really appreciate that because other sets, they just printed the cape, but they didn't add a cape. Here we have Queen Lon Was. He comes also with a green lightsaber and 2 face prints. One is the mean one. The other one is the extremely angry one, the one, let's say. When we go to his print, he has a front and back print. And what I like about this one is that it's beautiful how they made it. You see there's no, okay, well, there's that gap in between here, but you see that actually it's following the line. So the robe looks really good on him, and it's not that it's a misprint, or you know what I mean, you know, that this part is somewhere here or somewhere there. So it looks really nice. I like this on this minifigure. Here we have Clone Commander Gree. He comes with the typical helmet, an olive green uniform, or also a dark green uniform, a blaster, and a thingy to spy on the enemies. And he has only 1 face print. You don't need more since you're gonna hide it anyways below the helmet, so that's fine. He has a front and back print. Here's the back print, and that's already it. The last minifigure is the Elite Corps clone. He has also an olive green uniform, nice leg prints. He comes with the blaster as well, and this helmet, and he has 1 face print, a back print where you see details of a backpack, and some other small bags. Did not want to offend the battle droids, but to me they are not real minifigures because they look all the same. Okay, yeah, some of them have different colors, different printing, but I hope you understand what I mean. They're also minifigures, but they are just not like as special as the others. There's not much to say. They come with the blaster, the typical body of a battle droid, and that's already it. And you have 2 of those. You see 1 here and 1 in the background. Before we take a closer look at the turbo tank, we first take a look at the ATRT, which comes in a nice olive green, and that stud shooter here in the front, which is pretty flexible. You can shoot in any direction. And there's also a spot where you can place the Elite Corps troop. He has enough space so either he can stand, he can also sit down, and of course without the blaster, it's just now for show purposes. I just took him, I didn't prepare him, sorry. Let's take a closer look at the turbo tank. So what we see from the outside obviously is that we have 2 of those spring-loaded guns. We have those on both sides, and you can easily trigger them by pushing them towards the turbo tank. And when we're already talking about guns, we have here 2 stud shooters, which are rotatable 360. You cannot move them up and down, but that's okay. And also here on top, we have a machine gun where you can place a minifigure and it can shoot around. We also have a tower here, which you can move out, and you can place a minifigure here, so he checks the surrounding in case an enemy would attack. That's what we have from the outside. We can already move. Oh no, before we move, of course, probably you're asking yourself, how can I lift this tank? Easy. We have here this hook, and you can just easily grab it and lift it. In case you ask yourself, in case you didn't care, I'm really sorry you wasted your time, but we can move now to the front of the vehicle. Now we look at the front of the turbo tank. Down below the cockpit, we have 4 machine guns. They're not stud shooters, so you can just move them up and down and pretend that they're shooting, like ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. That's my sound, don't copy it. And you also see now, even though we want to talk about the front of the turbo tank, you see now the spring-loaded guns on each side. In the front, we can open the cockpit by pushing that piece up and that piece here down. And we see here on the right-hand side, we have a steering wheel and also 2 spots for the minifigures. Now we go from the cockpit to the middle part of the set. And before we go to this huge space here, you also see on both sides that we have here spare ammo for the spring-loaded shooters, which are here on the side. So you have enough. And I think as a kid, or even as an adult fan of Lego, it's a lot of fun. Having enough of those, you can drive around and have a lot of fun. But back to the topic. Here we have a lot of space, and that space is purposely for the ATRT. And I'm not able now in the review to fold it in front of you, but actually you're supposed to fold it and you can place it inside of the turbo tank. That's the idea behind it. With this yellow piece here, you can move the tower up and down, and you have it on both sides, so you don't have to turn the whole turbo tank in case you want to move the tower up and down. You can also move that gray piece here down, and you have a yellow box in here with some things in it, like ammo for the stud shooter and the detonator. We already reached the front, or the back, it depends from where you look at it, but we already reached the end of the turbo tank. Here we also have the option to lift the top and to push that thing here down, and you can place one minifigure here, and you have here in the back two clips. One is for the blaster and one is for the coffee, the beer, blue milk, whatever. Overall, I really like that set. Of course, I cannot compare it to another turbo tank since this is the first turbo tank I have, but so far I really like it. I like that detail that when you push it to the side, that it really works with those springs, that it moves all the wheels to the same direction, so it's pretty easy to drive around with it, and I can imagine it like the young little SwissBrickster playing around with it. So if you want to have a turbo tank, I recommend this one. I also like that we have that ATRT in the set, so you have a little bit of fun with that, especially with that stud shooter here. I recommend that set. If you do not have a turbo tank in your collection, go and get it. But of course, probably the others, they're also cool. I can just not compare them. Go and get the other one if you want the other one. And I have to add something, I cannot be quiet. I also saw a review where people were complaining that due to that thing here, it's not easy to access the spring-loaded shooter, but you know what? You can just turn it and then you can easily access it. But that's a detail. I just wanted to mention it, not that you see it as a minus point. So thank you very much for watching. See you next time.